How does this war? How do I press repeat?
Oh,
How
oh,
do I make a
oh.
line? They don't know how what they do. It's incompetence. I think it is.
Let's do this.
We have to address the VAR and how the referees could do like.
Oh, what a howler! We
the
got to
goal
talk
that
about that.
Disallowed for Liverpool. That was no offside.
Oh, and we also had some dodgy VRs that wasn't given by us. So I start to believe we started to sort of uncover this, Jarvis. We started to say, is this a conspiracy theory, or is it actually some corruption theories? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't go so far. I think mostly it's incompetence.
Incompetence.
From the referees. They're old. They old people learning new technology. We know how that goes. Most of the.
Are you calling me old? What the hell is going on with you?
Get out of here! Technology. How does this war? How do I press repeat? How do I make a line? They don't know how what they do. It's incompetence. I think it is.
Hey, Jarvis, imagine those people in charge of the nuclear bombs in US or Russia. Press the wrong button and we're screwed. Oh, my God, we have a hot war all of a sudden. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Hang on. Well, ref and the VAR's exposed, Jarvis. The ref and the VAR's in the mud. 100%. We're going to talk about the VAR officials. I mean, we've been sitting here on this stream so many times and complaining that we haven't got controversial VAR decisions either. And yesterday, what happened in the game was pretty much the same thing what we've been discussing before, right? It's just a shambles, because today came out VAR officials who made Liverpool error took a charge of the UAE match just 48 hours before. And we are talking about this VAR officials who are sitting there was actually Michael Oliver, the infamous Michael Oliver, Dan Cook and Darren England were part of the match officiating also 24 hours before with the UAE league game, right? Question was been raised. What did they do? Did they just sleep? Did they watching Pornhub there or something and playing PlayStation? I don't know, Jarvis. Talk to me.
Well, I would like to hear that conversation when they disallowed the Liverpool goal. You could see it clearly, no offside. So I understand that Liverpool fans and players feel cheated after that decision. I think it's important, even we are United fans and we don't wish Liverpool well at all. It's important to
stand against
the pressure, stand against the VAR and the referees who are doing these mistakes, because it at the end of the day it will affect us too, and we have seen it this season, the level of incompetence. So we need to keep up the pressure and demand that they will raise their standards, because this is not good enough.
Who's in charge of POL? More. Is that Howard Webb?
Yeah.
Is it Howard Webb?
Yeah.
Or Stuart Atwell?
VAR.
VR.
Find out.
Oh my God! We have a troll here. Where did you come from? VR room.
From Selhurst Park. I went to cause trouble.
Did you just finish the VR course, right?
I heard there's a need for new referees in the Premier League, so I'm here to.
There's an opening after yesterday's accident, right? Or so-called accident.
Exactly. The Premier League is atrocious, man. It's becoming a joke.
We were just opening a can of worms, Poppy, before you come in here as well. So we were just talking about yesterday's VAR official who made the Liverpool human error, what they're calling. I've been interested to hear what kind of excuses they're having, right? Because they formulate a rule: don't talk to me, don't talk to the hand, only the captain can speak to us, and don't question our rulings. It's a little bit of authoritarian, and now they got exposed. I mean, what's your thoughts and opinion regarding what happened yesterday?
So it's really Liverpool were robbed, and it's just like one of those moments where I feel there needs to be more accountability. It's like, come on, guys, you can't keep on proclaiming that this is the best league in the world, and then the refereeing is way below par. It's just
Mm.
atrocious. What I don't understand about it is like it seems to happen every year. They keeps on be they keeps on we keep on seeing moments where like the signs that there is not enough um attention given to improving the refereeing decision and improving the level of training from the referees, and some really horrible mistakes last year that cost Arsenal in the title. I'm not an Arsenal fan. As a rival fan, you're
Mm.
just like, that's horrible. Imagine if that's us. And we've been having our own
We've
fair
been having our fair share.
fair share,
Plenty,
exactly.
plenty.
Yeah. Yeah. So it seems like there's a conspiracy process, and I want to just say a conspiracy theory, and I want to ask, what is the process?
Well, stick around. I have another follow-up question to you. Like you're
Yeah.
talking about conspiracy, but I think it's more of a corruption theory. I mean, is it plausible?
It
Are you
is.
still there? Is it plausible that
I'm
Liverpool
here.
failed? Is it plausible that Liverpool failed to pay in time, the transaction in time to the POL yesterday, and they got punished?
Can I say something about that? Like, so I just read that the same refereeing team was part of
Yeah,
like
the
they
UAE.
traveled to the UAE, and there's also like the other thing that we have to look into and say, you know this is a very high stakes game. People are going to lose their jobs over some of your decision making. You have to really be taking the best steps possible to make sure that you're in the best condition to not be costing people and making very costly errors like this. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say much about like the money wire transfer or anything like that because
Oh
I don't know
no,
yet.
no.
But
Jarvis,
yeah,
one thing that pops in my mind as well, Jarvis, is that there is one name that has been associated a lot with Manchester United. There's part of that list that was refereeing yesterday and that was refereeing the UAE game for 24 hours before, and
Mhm.
that's Michael Oliver.
Yep.
Michael Oliver was part of the send-off of Casemiro. He was part
Yes.
of a lot of controversial. You have Dan Cook and Darren England. I mean, these are mates at the end of the day. They will back each other up, but is that just a coincidence, or is it just, I don't know? This, it smells something like some corruption or something. Anything can be bought in nowadays. People are money hungry, right? Talk to us. Are we just
Yeah, as I
fucking
said
gaga?
earlier,
Or
I don't believe in corruption when it comes to referees. To be honest, I find it hard to believe it's corruption, but I believe it's a lot of incompetence. I've seen interviews with referees. They talk a lot about how they implement the VAR, how they should do it, how they should use the newest technology. Everything is like new, and it's hard to grasp, and it needs a little bit of training. I also think they should learn from UEFA and other organizations. You see, VAR works perfectly in La Liga. It works really good in Serie A and in Bundesliga, but we have big troubles in the Premier League. So I think maybe it's the level of the competence of a lot of the referees, and
okay,
I think they are very conservative. They always have the same referees, and old referees. They should bring in younger referees who can learn the technology faster
yeah,
and be
yeah.
better.
Bring back Colina, the best referee in the world, the Italian Colina, the bald one. He looked like the head singer of "How Can We Dance When Our Birds Are Turning."
Mhm.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like it just, does this spread to Europe as well? Because if I think about the VR decision, Bayern Munich Champions League, first time in VR Champions League history when they did the check and they recalled the check and recalled the Empire, the Swedish Empire, to have a look at it, and they gave it as an offside goal. Offside. Was it
Mm.
offside? Yeah, it was offside. Yeah, but it wasn't, right? Was it a
Wasn't
goal?
it a
I can't.
handball?
Oh, handball. This I can't remember, mate. But it's the first time in Champions League history. Usually they're quite good to say check completed, no problems. Hey. By the way, it's Manchester United. They didn't pay the bill. Hey, come here, come here, come here. Oh
Mm.
yeah, they didn't pay. So no special treatment. Ruled off. Puppy.
it it's really horrible. So what I feel like we've seen in the past, like some other competitions actually have fairly okay to really good referee. I believe like the Qatar World Cup has had very handful of like, you know, uh um controversial decisions, but it wasn't that much. Everything was almost objective, and we kind of we were all in agreement. I don't know if I'm the only one in the house that feels this way. The VAR room can also chime in on this too. But I that's why it baffles me that there is so much resources, so much money, so
So
many
much money, technology. Yeah.
access to technology, but it's just way below par. That
Mm.
is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Big up Karen for coming in. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute, Karen. Thank you for sending all your love. Maybe the refs are getting backhanders from other clubs. Who knows? Who knows? And she sends us also a love heart. Big up. It's been a hot minute since we saw you, Karen. Hope you're doing well today as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I just got to say one point on the VAR and the technology I'm talking about. I saw an interview with an ex-referee, and he talked about that he was the one who implemented it. Stu Wally had an interview on All for United, and he talked about, for example, like the technology, frames per seconds. And 15 frames per seconds or 60 frames per second in and when the ball releases from the foot, and to find out like really the technology, how to implement it in the best way possible. And there's better options out there, but they are not implementing it. They can measure the offside line 100% if they want to, but they don't. They are very
and
conservative.
they
They don't
don't
want
look at real time. Real time. They look at slow motion, and it
to.
always looks worse in slow motion.
You can
That's not
implement
the
ultra fast cameras with the 2 frames a second, like
Yeah, but that's
or
not realistic,
10,000
gentlemen,
frames.
ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, and the VR room. It's not realistic. Our eyes don't see things in slow motion. Our eyes see the way it happens in the real time. So play it in real time. Why are you slowing it down? Because when you slow it down, you get more worse effect. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And if you're
mm,
drawing the
Exactly.
line, if you're drawing the line, you draw it like exactly the way the body position for offside. Even a 5-year-old in kindergarten can draw the line a little bit more crooked and say offside, yeah. And when it comes to the handballing rule, let's just make it simple. Anything that touches the hand within the 6-yard box is a penalty. Only the goalkeeper is allowed to touch the ball with the hands in the penalty box.
mm.
Yeah, simple, right? We're playing football, not handball there. Even if it
My, my,
hits you like here, just
my
make it fair
question,
and
Nick,
square.
my question is, should we have war at the first place, or should we just let the referee do his thing?
I don't know. Maybe we should implement, maybe we should just wait for the AI technology to come out. Maybe we'll have some robots running around doing programmed AI machine learning. They will say, oh, more accurate. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Maybe that's
mm.
the way the future is going, because at the end of the day, you have human error and you have machines that can do better job than humans, right?
Yeah,
Because
but
we are heading.
do we want to every time we score a goal, do we want to sit there and wait for 30 seconds before we dare to celebrate the goal? It's starting to be a little bit ridiculous. It's like 1984. It's too much things. That's so it's surveillance of everything. Why can't we just let the game run its natural course, and the referee, okay, let him do his
But they
job.
want to. I kind of feel that they want to be part of the game instead of being in the background of the game. They want to take the limelight, like, and they want to be stars, like they want to be talked about in the media afterwards. I don't know. It just kind of feels that way, Poppy.
Jarvis, yeah, no, I agree with you, Mick. It's also like a little bit of a you almost need a pre VAR celebration and a post VAR celebration because
Post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the way,
Hang on. We're not still allowed to celebrate.
like even as for, like it's one of those moments where it's like you have to hold your breath, and really you can't be sure until you're sure, even if you just saw something spectacular, which kind of kills some of the joy in the game. What The other point that Mick said earlier on, that I really liked was, I believe in basketball they do not do slow mo replay. They do
No.
replays, but they have this, like, you have to see them. You can see at different angles, but it has to be in real time, and that has a very big impact. You cannot underestimate it. When I was watching, it might have been that Gary Lineker podcast where they were interviewing, I believe, Howard Webb. There was a point about the dynamics of like the VAR assistant and the on-field referee. Like, so if there's an imbalance in those dynamics, it can actually influence the game. Say if the referee on the field is more experienced than the VAR referee in the office, like the VAR referee in the office sometimes has moments of just like questioning
Overrule.
themselves, or not saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna," challenge your vast knowledge and experience in the game when I'm only 6 months into the job and you've been doing this for years and years and years. Yeah, I'm not going to ask you to go. So those dynamics come into play sometimes. It's almost sometimes better to have a more experienced person in the VAR room and then the less experienced people out on the fields, if it has to be that way.
But it feels also there are a little bit of a peer pressure because the field umpire should be the one that's the major decision maker, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it feels like, okay, I delegate a lot of things to the VAR room, and it's peer pressure. Like, we'll listen to them, and they would influence my decision. At the end of the day, you should be the one that be confident enough to overrule. No, I don't believe what you just show me. Show me another angle. But now they're getting very much influenced and peer pressure by the mates because they're mates. The guys that sits in the VAR room, they're also referees on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like you have Michael Oliver sits there, Dan Cook, Darren England sits in the VR room, and they rotate. Sometimes where they're not, official umpires on the field, they're also fourth official, you know what I mean, linesmen and everything else, right? So they are in need of small people protecting themselves. And they will just always listen to themselves, like, to say, hey, Michael, maybe you should look at this. Nah, that's not a goal. Nah, it's Liverpool. Give it to Liverpool. Klopp paid. Yeah, you know what I mean? But it comes down also to, celebration, it kills the game, right? It's like me coming to you, happy birthday, Poppy, let's sing. Wait a minute, I just need to check. Did it pass midnight yet? Now you can sing. Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy almost birthday.
Almost birthday. So, but when you talk about slow motion, I totally agree. Like, the only thing that I can think about, the only slow motion replay, there was a Scott McTominay chasing up a Meccano against Bayern Munich. 100%. He was going, that was slow motion. Maybe we should just wait for the AI technology to come on. Maybe we'll have some robots running around doing programmed AI machine learning. They will say, oh, more accurate. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the way the future is going, because at the end of the day, you have human error and you have machines that can do better job than humans, right?